Every founder we talk to says the same thing.
Yes, they do. I cannot figure out who's actually telling me the truth. Everyone says they're over quota. Everyone has a great story. And I keep hiring the story instead of the salesperson.
We built a system that solves that exact problem. It's by making the truth the only consistent answer possible.
Yep, Travis, we call it the performance checkpoint method. And it works because of one thing most interviewers never think about.
If you ask all the math questions back to back, a candidate can do the math in their head and make the numbers work, even if the story is completely fabricated.
So we never ask them back to back, ever.
Ever. Here's how it exactly works. There's really four checkpoints. Each one is separated by at least 10 minutes of completely unrelated conversation. That gap is not a pause, it's really the whole system.
Checkpoint one happens early in the interview. Two questions.
What was your average deal size and what is your average sales cycle?
An A player answers instantly 12,000 ARR, 3.5 weeks. They do not have to think about it because they lived inside those numbers every day.
Every day. A candidate who hedges here, who says, oh, it depends, or something between 10 and 40,000, has already told you something important. Those are the most basic metrics of their own job.
Write the answers down, say nothing else about it, move on to other topics completely.
Checkpoint two comes about 10 minutes later, just one question.
What was your annual quota last year?
Now note it, move on. Do not connect it to anything else you've asked before.
Checkpoint three comes another 10 minutes later.
What percentage of quota did you hit last year?
This is a checkpoint candidates most commonly inflate. They know the quota number, they know what they actually sold, and the percentage they claim is often the best version of those two numbers, not the real one.
Write it down, move on again.
Checkpoint four is the final question. It comes at the very end.
How much did you actually sell last year?
Now you have everything you need. So if the math connects across all four checkpoints, you have a candidate who lived inside their numbers. That is a significant green flag.
If the math does not connect, you've found something worth understanding. Not necessarily a disqualifier, but something you need to address directly before you go any further.
Yes, Travis. I want to tell you exactly what this looks like in practice. So, I was screening a candidate last year. Really strong first impression, great energy, clear process answers. He said he had 120% of a 1 million quota. Everything else was tracking well. Then I ran the math. The deal size and volume he had given me in the checkpoint one did not produce 1,200,000. It produced 800,000.
80%, not 120%.
Yep. I came back to it at the end of the call. I said, "Help me understand something. You told me your quota was a 1 million and that you hit 120%. But you also told me you sold 800,000. What is 120% of a million?" He kind of paused. He said 1.2 million. And I said, "What percentage of a million is 800,000?" He was quiet again. Then he said 80%.
And then he told the real story. He had been pacing 120% through Q3. The company went through layoffs and he was let go in October before the end of the year. His final number was 800,000, 80% to quota.
Yeah. So without the checkpoint method, that candidate walks into your company carrying a number that is not his.
Here's what I told him. Go back to every single interview that you're in and lead with the real number. 80% with honest context is a strong answer. It's much better than 120% when it's not true. Own the real story. It almost always is better than the inflated one.
100% true, Travis. Here's what the system is actually testing for. It's not math skills.
It's memory, it's consistency, it's whether someone lived inside their numbers every single day or constructed a story around them after the fact.
Yeah, that's right, Travis. A players know their numbers without thinking. Every checkpoint connects immediately. No hesitation, no recalculating because the numbers are real. And guess what? They haven't changed.
The candidate who pauses, who has to work backward from the number they gave you 10 minutes ago, is showing you something.
4 checkpoints separated across the entire interview, connected at the end.
Run this on every single sales candidate you interview from this point forward. Not because you expect to catch someone, that shouldn't be the goal. It's because the candidates who have nothing to hide will fly through it without even noticing.
The math connects or it does not. And that answer tells you more than any single interview question ever will.